Greetings and Hotep, brothers and sisters of our New Jersey chapter of the Association of Black Psychologists, Family, and Friends. It has truly been an honor to serve you as your chapter president for these past 4 years. Our African wisdom tradition helps us to recognize and appreciate that life evolves in cycles, and that within those cycles is an infinity of beginnings and endings. My presidency with NJABPsi likewise had a beginning and now has come to an end. As I approach the end of my second and final term as chapter president, I took time to reflect on the road that I've traveled for the past 4 years. I can vividly recall my trepidation as I stepped timidly into the role of chapter president. Even after 2 terms, that feeling never really left me. I was so humbled to be able to serve such an amazing group of accomplished professionals. And so at the onset of my presidency, I was really faced with a dilemma of how to take a leadership role in front of those who I revered so highly and I viewed as being much greater than myself. I quickly realized that I could never really get ahead to lead. So instead, I committed my presidency to serving you, our members, and I did so to the very best of my ability. My second dilemma would be how to steer this ship. And so the primary objective of my chapter presidency became to amplify our public-facing profile. See, I knew how great we were, but of course, a light under a bushel barrel does not shine, right? So I wanted all of New Jersey to know our greatness and to be able to benefit from our light. So I and the executive board members, we went to work. Toward elevating our public-facing profile, one of the things that we did is form partnerships. And NJABPsi was a community partner with the Shani Baraka Women's Resource Center in Newark. We are currently a member organization with the New Jersey Black Issues Convention, which is dedicated to addressing issues that affect the quality of our life, our communities. NJABPsi is also partners with the New Jersey Black Intellectual and Developmental Disability Consortium, where we are represented by Dr. Edwina Hawes. And in an effort to strengthen the pipeline for Black psychologists, we were incubating a relationship with Bloomfield College to support and nurture students that were interested in pursuing a career in the field of psychology. Now, what you may not know is that when First Lady Tammy Murphy wanted to launch her initiative to reduce racial disparity for maternal and infant mortality, she invited NJABPsi to the table. When Congressman Kim convened a Black mental health leadership roundtable, he sought the expertise from within the membership of NJABPsi. When the Latino Action Network Foundation, in collaboration with the Salvation of Social Justice organization, convened a roundtable to examine mental health in the Black community, they looked within the ranks of NJABPsi. Some of these relationships were just for a season and some dwindled over time, but all of them strengthened our public profile and aided in our growth and development. Additionally, toward a public-facing profile, we took positions and advanced statements about the foreclosure trend in Newark, bias legislation, the dual pandemics, police brutality, and more. When COVID hit, our brothers and sisters of the Black Family Summit established the Community Cares Listening Line, intended to be a for us, by us response to COVID. I put out a call to our NJABPsi members and friends, and there was a resounding response. You participated in great numbers. We also formed an emergency task force to respond to the dual pandemics. And we organized in this task force, we organized our inaugural foray, if you will, into the virtual world with a panel discussion that centered on the senseless and unjustified murder of our brother, George Floyd. We also gave our website a complete facelift. We updated it so that it would generate traffic and facilitate communication of chapter activity and also make it easier for folks to find us. It would additionally highlight and archive the wonderful work of our members that too often goes unseen. We established an NJABPsi social media presence on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter that was excellently maintained by Atia Webb, who is also my daughter. We currently have 437 followers with Instagram as our largest following. So please, let's increase that number. Jump on the bandwagon at NJABPsi on all of those platforms. And finally, with the hard work and effort of our new president, Dr. Barbara Prempeh, we also acquired a grant to cover the cost of clinical services for Black clients and licensure expenses for those seeking licensure. Now, I think it's important to note that during my tenure, we did not exclusively focus on our public-facing profile. We additionally were attentive to building and edifying our organization internally as well. So early on in 2018, we celebrated 45 years as an organization. It was a spectacular affair, and I can hardly believe we're coming up on 50 years next year. We also updated our bylaws. That was a painstaking and arduous task. And we are currently at the door of becoming a 501c3 organization. And a special thanks to Dr. Joseph Connell on both of those. He was working really hard in the background, helping us to accomplish both of those tasks. When COVID hit, we did a virtual circle for our members so that we can support and Zola up, love up on each other in what was a very dark time for us. And it was filled with a lot of loss and grief. Through it all, we maintained a regular calendar of monthly chapter meetings where we enjoyed the brilliance of our own members and where we delved into relevant and intriguing topics. For me, one of the most memorable chapter meeting was the one where we centered ABPsi pioneers, Dr. Dan Williams and Dr. Edwin Nichols. If you were there, you know what I'm talking about. Now, what better way is there to strengthen our organization than to lift our students, right? And so we also started 2 scholarships for students through the love and vision, generosity of Dr. Janu Gary. The Mel Gary Scholarship was launched in honor of the legacy and of our dear brother and past president, Dr. Mel Gary. More recently, we launched the annual ABPsi Conference Scholarship for students aimed at getting more students to attend our national annual convention. Now, I must say that our efforts to increase our public-facing profile, I believe, was successful because at the onset of my tenure, we had a very respectable 20-some member enrollment. And I am proud to say that today, NJABPsi has a roster of more than 70 dues-paying members. I am even more proud to say, thanks to the meticulous management of our treasurer, Dr. Jennifer Jones-Damas, that NJABPsi is financially solvent. So these were just some of the efforts and activities of the past 4 years, and I certainly can't cite everything, but as I conclude, I'm reminded of an African proverb that says, if we stand tall, it is because we stand on the shoulders of many ancestors. I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge NJABPsi ancestors, past President Dr. Mel Gary and ABPsi pioneer Dr. George Jackson, as well as the many others upon whose shoulders we stand. But there's another African proverb that says, when an elder dies, it is like a library has burned to the ground. We at NJABPsi are more than blessed to still have among us two very powerful, trailblazing pioneers, founding presidents of this great organization, Dr. Daniel Williams and Dr. Duncan Walton. We are eternally grateful for your strength, for your courage, for your love, and for your sacrifices. And to all of the NJABPsi presidents who served before me, many of whom are still lifting this organization today, I owe my honor and respect to you all for building, sustaining, and advancing this great organization such that I would have a blazing torch to receive and carry forward through my presidency. A very special acknowledgement to Dr. Joseph Connell, our immediate past president. We may not have seen him out front due to health challenges, but you must know that Dr. Joseph Connell actively supported me, our executive board, and this organization throughout my presidency. He was truly a trusted advisor and became a personal friend. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Joseph Connell. Before I close, I want to also acknowledge our executive board members, because it was never a one-man show. If there was any good that I did, it was done on the strength of the executive team. I am so very grateful and fortunate to have been able to serve with such a dynamic, brilliant, and dedicated group of colleagues, and I might even say friends. Doctors Barbara Prempe, Crystal Molyneux, and Dr. Jennifer Jones-Jamas. They are truly a hardworking team, wholly dedicated to the advancement of NJABPsi and the healing of Black people. I am confident that the continued progress and the future of this great organization is secure under the leadership of Madam President, Dr. Barbara Prempe. To you, Madam President, and to the new executive board, I pledge my continued dedication and support. And a final word as I conclude. Brothers and sisters of NJABPsi, let's make no mistake, we are still fighting the very same enemy that our fearless and courageous pioneers were fighting when they boldly walked out of APA and formed the Association of Black Psychologists. We know all too well that the pandemic of anti-Black racism is alive and raging. Black people here and all over the world are in a state of emergency. The game is rigged against us and the plan is in full effect. There really is no justice for the Black man and woman in America. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is quoted as saying, whenever any human is deprived of justice, the mind becomes imbalanced. He says the greater the injustice, the greater the imbalance. For centuries, we've endured tremendous injustices. We've not only suffered from the continued psychological burden of our ma'afa, we also suffer greatly under the continuous assaults of an emboldened white supremacist ideology in this racist world. Our brother and ancestor Stephen Biko once said, the most powerful weapon in the hand of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. As Black people, we are imbalanced and we are out of our right minds. So we, at NJABPsi have a mighty work to do. In the spirit of Harambe, let's double down on our commitment to the liberation of the African mind, to the empowerment of the African character, and to the enlivenment and illumination of the African spirit. As I step down as your chapter president, it is with deep love and gratitude that I wish us all perpetual peace and power to heal and be healed. Asante sana.